Well, hi everyone, welcome to today's video. It is Monday the 30th of August. It is just before 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We are at Dundas Street and Street East. Right now we're pointing in the direction of eastbound Dundas Street. However, we are going to be walking westbound today. Right across the street is the McConnell Aquatic Center. We came near this spot around this time last week. It is a beautiful aquatic center. It's a nice big playground. You know the new cushioned floored playgrounds that have been in place for the past few years now. It is nice to see because when kids fall and hit their head, at least they have something a little bit bouncy to bounce off of, rather than the concrete back in my day. I'm surprised there weren't more accidents that I experienced when I was a kid playing in the playgrounds. You know, with kids injuring themselves, because even the playground, not toys, but things that you could ride on, you know, stationary little rides that you could climb up on and play horsey. I remember some of the horsey ears were quite pointed, so if you bent down too far and lost your balance, you could easily poke an eye out. I remember those. So this one, of course, would have been in the 60s. And now those playground rides and playground, what's the word I'm looking for? Not things, but places that kids can play on now are much safer. Rounded edges, nothing pointy. Things are a little bit springy, so there's no hard hits on anything. We were at Sackville and Dundas Street East. It is so nice out, and it's not sweltering hot today, which I'm very thankful for. So when I came down earlier today, it seemed hotter than it is now. I was a little bit sweaty when I got to my destination. It's about an hour and a half walk down, but not as hot and sweaty as I was last week. And right now, walking westbound on Dundas, there's this very light breeze. It feels so good. Now I am walking on the south side, so it is a bit shaded, which adds to the coolness. When I say coolness, I don't mean that it's cool, it's just that it's cooler than it was this morning, and by no stretch should I even be using that word, because there's nothing cool about today. It's still a beautiful, warm, sunny day. So last week, and we were at a friend's cottage in Muskoka. I think it was Lake Vernon, if I'm not mistaken. And they had just finished their cottage build. I think they were in it this time last year, so it's a fairly new cottage. Oh, this is a community garden. I haven't been down this way in a long time. So these little allotments here belong to private citizens. Now I think you rent the space or you have to live in the neighborhood. I'm not sure what the parameters are for having a garden out here, but anyhow, I think it's pretty cool. I would assume you have to be in the neighborhood. That makes sense. Anyhow, so we had a lovely time at Ron and Sonia's cottage, and they also had Ron's two sisters and their spouses visiting. It's a big cottage, so it can accommodate a lot of people, so we felt quite spoiled, being very well fed, maybe overfed, and amongst great company. So, you know, both David and I had a great time. And when we were coming back home on the 400, we had no problem. You know, there was no traffic blockages down the 400 going south getting home, but we were observing the traffic going into cottage country up the 400 was crazy. Bumper to bumper for miles. And that was, I think, we left there at about 1:30 in the afternoon. So, you know, it's kind of the middle of the afternoon now. It was on a weekend, so that's sort of maybe understandable, but man, it was so congested for people coming into cottage country. We were at Dundas and Parliament. It's been a while since I've walked this stretch. Looks like there's something going on here. Toronto Council Fire Native Cultural Center. I guess they're just maybe fixing up the outside. So I meant to film little Lucy. We have little Lucy with us until next weekend. So I do have to film her so you guys can see how great she is. So on that note, we, as you know, we are babysitting, we're pet sitting little Lucy. She's my sister-in-law's dog, and so of course we took her with us to Ron and Sonia's cottage in the Muskokas this past weekend, and there were 3 other dogs there, and Lucy just fit right in. She is such a chill dog. She gets along with everybody. She gets along, you know, in a new environment readily. There's no periods of stress or anxiety that we observed. You know, we stuck close to her, but I feel like we really didn't have to, because she just assimilated. She was just such a no-stress dog, or she is such a no-stress dog. She's such a good little girl. We'll have to show her to you. I think you'll see exactly what I mean about, you know, she's the picture of adorable. I do have to cut her nails though. So we were at Dundas and Ontario Street. That's looking north on Ontario Street. Here we are looking south. Wonder how long these buildings are going to remain standing. It looks like they're occupied. I think they're residential. For the most part, they do look residential. This is the original, but it looks more commercial to me. tour of homes. I think that is an old plaque, if I'm not mistaken. I think maybe it was once residential. Now it looks commercial. Let's just turn around and have a look-see. I mean, they could be residential. Could be a residential building, but I don't know, something tells me that it may not be. Laundromat. Now look at that window. I'm going to angle up. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it though. Look at the beautiful stained glass at the top of that, just at the top of that window there. That is so nice. There's a shelter coming up ahead here. I think it's St. Jamestown shelter maybe? Now we're at Sherborne and Dundas Street East. Okay, I'll think I'll continue along Dundas. It's been so long since I've walked down Dundas, so yeah, I want to continue for a bit more. Now this is All Saints Church Community Center. That's what that is, but I think it also provides shelter or meals for those in need. True Love Cafe. Oh, it looks like it's for lease. It doesn't look like it's a cafe any longer. There was a library around here. Oh no, actually, I thought there was a library here, but it's a few streets south. Now, maybe it's just time of day or because it's, you know, we're still in the pandemic, but, you know, Dundas Street is typically a pretty busy thoroughfare. Maybe once we get closer to Yonge, but it seems pretty light this afternoon as far as traffic is concerned. But as we get closer to the Eaton Center, I suspect it'll get a little bit more congested, especially because Ryerson University is close by. Because Dundas just is just south of Ryerson University. There's been a lot of change down here. This is a new development right here. Yeah, this is new. It looks super tall, super high. Oh, Phil Morris. This was, oh yeah, what does it say here? Toronto's Ultimate Gentleman's Club. Really, I can't believe those things still exist. So what does it say? Grand reopening July 16th. We're waxed, vaxxed, and ready to party. This is a new build here. This has been in the works for a while. Another fairly tall, what seems to be condos, maybe a combo of condos and apartments, possibly. Yeah, it looks like some of the units are occupied, but the ground floor commercial area still is either still under construction or still awaiting tenants. Now, I think one of these buildings that I'm angling at, I think one of them used to be the old Simpson Sears Administration Building, I think. It's one of these buildings here. It's either that one, the light colored cement with the big block windows, or it's this brown one, this brown building with the vertical windows. Can't remember which now. Now this, where the camera is angling here, that used to be old hotel. Was it a Best Western, or I think it was like a Best Western, it was a hotel. And now they have totally tore that down and built what seems to be condos and or apartments. And the Grand Hotel was just, I think, on that street. The Grand Hotel, I think, is in the process of being torn down. I remember a friend of mine would come in from Calgary for business, and she would be put up at that Grand Hotel. It was really a nice hotel. They had a really nice restaurant and outdoor, like, lounge area. I used to come visit her when she would come into town. Coming up to Church Street. Oh, it smells good. I smell curry. It smells yummy. Oh. Looks like another new build here. Out with the old and with the new. That's Toronto's nickname. Out with the old, in with the new. That's Toronto. So this part that we're at, Dundas and Church, is considered part of the Garden District. Gonna hustle and make this walk. That's Church looking south and looking north. So we are in Ryerson University territory. Now up here at the Bond Place Hotel, years ago when I was back in my corporate job, we had a Christmas party at this hotel, and actually we had a great time, and it was really nice inside for the party room. The Bond, I don't know if that's what it was called over 10 years ago. Here is the home of City TV. You can see the cameras. On Victoria Street, we're gonna try and cross this without any incident. Okay. Well, you can tell we're in the heart of downtown. Lots of noise. Yep, ambulance. Whoops, a little bit too high. I like those buildings. Dundas Square. And just across the street, hopefully you can see the Eaton Center. Sam the Record Man. Now, high up above, I didn't know that still existed, where you see Sam, hopefully the camera will pick it up. And there's those two album discs. That used to be, that signage, I think that's the original signage that used to be placed on Sam the Man Record Man store on Yonge. I just noticed that now. Okay, now we are at Dundas and Yonge Streets, just across the street from Eaton Center. I think this is where I'm going to end today's video, folks. Thanks very much for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Please consider subscribing and smashing that like box. This is Boomer Girl Walking, signing off.